I've just been thinking about visibility, nighttime, plowing, stuff like that. And they've got all these screens, like the small one here and the bigger one in these vehicles now, which are cool because they give you a bunch of options. But I don't really like how bright they are at night, even though they do, dim and, well, not without the lights on, but they do dim and it's not going to fade anyway with the automatic, like panel dimmer, but it's not enough. And so I was going to show, it took me a while to figure out this bigger screen. I do not like it, like in my peripheral, and I can tell, for like eye fatigue at night once you're plowing for hours in the dark. So this is the way it looks normally, like when you have the radio going and stuff. And it's cool because phone calls come through and you can answer it through here, stuff like that, but it just doesn't get dim enough. So it took me a while to figure out how to shut it off, and it's nowhere on here because it is touchscreen, but it's this for GM and Chevy stuff. It's this home button, and then settings. It sees a bunch of settings, but they don't make it easy. It's not on the first page. Down here, display off, and then that's black. There's ways to make it blank, but it's still like a computer screen that's on. And then this one stays on all the time, and even at night, dimmed down all the way. It's almost not enough, and there's no way to really shut that one off. I mean, you can shut it off so there's no information being shown, but the screen is still on, that back glow. Laugh at me, but I might be fussy enough to put a little piece of felt over that, some tape or something maybe when I'm plowing. We'll see. Oh, and then another thing, visibility-wise, was so this is going to come back if you adjust your volume or do anything. So the backup camera in these things is, I mean, it's cool for hooking up trailers and stuff, but I don't know. And I don't like the tailgate locks with the locks. This 2018 Chevy, and the tailgate itself locks with the doors, and I don't like that. It's a wire to unplug, and I'm never gonna run a tonneau cover. So, but anyway, it's got the backup camera, which is kind of BS. The vehicle's not running, but I think it will come on. Nope. Huh? Interesting. Start it up. So the backup camera comes on in reverse, but not if the vehicle's not running. So we'll put it in reverse. You see that funny spot there? That's one drop of water. And believe it or not, there's a wood splitter right there. Quite close, like 2 feet. And I can't see it in that drop of water. And I can only imagine, a little bit of salt, road spray. It's not going to be very good. I'm going to have a sander on here, so the tailgate's not even going to be on, but see the ball right there on the camera? That's the hitch. And if that wood splitter wasn't being obstructed view by that one droplet of water, you can bring that hitch right to the right spot. Here, let me wipe that off and that water so you can see. So the camera's in that handle. Let's see what it looks like here. Yep, one little drop is all it's taking. Alright. But for one guy backing up trailer stuff, that's going to make a huge difference. I mean, that's a pain to back up to that stuff. Well, that camera helps in that way. Well, let's try again. Got my door open, so it's going to make noise. I mean, and the resolution on the camera is, the backup camera is horrible. It's a lot closer than what you think in that image. But I mean, how can you beat that being one guy? It's still not tall enough? Or Urge. Alright. Well, I'll have to deal with that, but you've got the picture as far as lining up to things. And then while we're talking about visibility stuff, let's shut that thing off. Kind of different but the same. In the same. Open the hood here. Show you what I've done. So, what have I got? So I've got a light bar up here on my rack, and then I've got some lights pointed back here. I know they're kind of awkward looking at where they're positioned, but with a sander, there's no other way to see around it. There's no point to have them unless I can see around it. So how I've been running those is this Blazer unit here. And it's pretty inexpensive. I think it was like 60 bucks, which had me a little skeptical, but it's got some good wiring, which these go to fuses, these different ports. So anyway, it's a wireless setup, and how I turn my lights on and off is with this remote. So all I have to do is run this, you know, to the battery for power, and then you only have to run the wires to this remote unit instead of having to run wires through the firewall and then back out from switches, which is kind of the not fun part. So this makes it a lot faster. And I mean, one of the downfalls is there's no indicator to know whether your lights are on. But I mean, you shouldn't be playing with it during the day. Would be the only time you wouldn't know, and at night you'd know if your lights are on. I haven't had any problem that way. And I just I only am using 2 of these, and when I hook the sander up, that will be a third port, third button, so I just use them in sequence. I've got the 2 lights on the biggest one there, and I'll put the couple lights on the sander on the second one down. So that's what I use. You just, you know, insets, positive and negative, and that saves you from running the wires back through the firewall and all that jazz. And then I just keep this remote on my visor, and it works perfect. It has so far. I've had it for over a year now. Oh, that's the backlights. I heard it click. See, there's that there. And that light makes a huge difference visibility wise. Plowing during whiteout conditions, during bad storms. A lot of this stuff is going to wireless now. And like, it's the front light. But yeah, backlight. So I've had no problems with it, and it saves a lot of time wiring. And that's my little tips on visibility stuff today. Jesus, that's still going to be hard, isn't it? All right, well, get your stuff ready, because there's not going to be many more warm days here in New England, I think. Could be, but never know. See ya.